This is the Installer Guy kicking it with news. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about employer issues. This is episode 5. Now, when you get hired into a company, you're in the auspices of thinking that you're going to work with a company that, one, believes in you, is going to invest in you, and you in turn will invest your time into them. When you take on this role, your job is to perform to the best of your ability. Now, with that comes the good and the bad. The good is you're building your brand. You're becoming a fixture with the company, in which it will propel you to higher roles within the company if you choose to. The bad, you have to deal with constant changes that either are going to hinder you or put you in positions that will make you uncomfortable. The ugly, the fact that you invested all your time in the company and you're going to deal with issues while at the company. And when I say issues, it could be hostile work environment, bullying, no longer needed in your position. The requirements have changed. You're dealing with something such as harassment on the job. That's the ugly. Now, let's all look at this way. I've always looked at it this way, so you can take my word for it that I've been around the block several times with jobs, and I know what each company entail wants. And these companies, whoever you're working for, want you to give them revenue somehow, some shape, form, or fashion. Bring in the money. Now, the way to do that is basically just doing your job. That's job one. Everybody says, oh, just do your job. That'll get you the money for the company. That's true. 2, you don't want to sell out, because then that assassinates your character. But if you want to move up, sometimes you have to bite your lip and take it all in stride. But the key is knowing when to say enough is enough. So when I think about that, I think about all the jobs I've had in the past, issues I've had, and my issues have been hostile work environments. They have been racist situations, no sexual harassment, but also I had to deal with people who were actually doing what they can to get over you by basically bending over backwards and brown nosing to get to where they want to be. Now, everybody has their own agenda on what they want to do. And sometimes working for the man, as they say, doesn't work for everyone. So as a result, you either quit the job, get another one, start the whole process over again, or you decide to strike out on your own and build your own business, be your own boss, set your own schedule, not have to be told what to do. Now, the success rate on that is great, depending on 2 things: the dedication to do that and the willingness to sacrifice for a little period of time. When I say a little period of time, there are factors that are involved in order to be a successful entrepreneur. You just have to stick to the grindstone Let's take your nose to the grindstone and dig in and keep doing it. And don't give up. And if you believe in it, you can achieve it. I'm not saying a cliche is true. You got to believe in what you believe is right. That's going to be successful for you. Now, for those that want to stay in the corporate world, building your brand is the key component if you want to stay with that company. You want to do everything you can to build your clientele, build your base, so that way when it's time for you to move up or move to another company in corporate America, you have the resume that speaks for itself. You have the ammunition to know that, hey, this is exactly what I bring to the table, and this is exactly what I'm going to do for you. These steps are also similar to when you're being interviewed for the role. You want to bring something to the table for them, and you want your resume to speak volumes for you. Building your brand, as they say. Now, you will have issues at your job. Everyone does at some point or another. There is no perfect employer, because if you're not giving the revenue and you're not doing what it takes to succeed, then they will find someone else who will take your place. Now, another thing you must take in consideration, you're not going to get along with everybody. I don't care how good and nice you are, you're not going to get along with everyone. And the reason you won't is because several factors. They just don't like you. No matter what you do, they're not going to like you. 2, it could be that they didn't hire you and they don't want you in that role. There's nothing wrong with that. Kind of like in sports, I'm going to use that as an analogy. When a new NBA coach comes in for a new team, the first thing that they want to do is bring on their own staff, just like in football, just like in baseball. There's nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what you should think about when you're going into a job that you're already in and you have a new boss. The question is he going to like you? It's not, you can't control that. Just be yourself. 2, is he going to want his own team in there? Usually, if they see that the team isn't productive, 9 times out of 10, he wants his own team. So he will facilitate a way to get you out into either another department or out of the company. Another thing you should always worry about is the sexual harassment. Now, I haven't been involved in that portion, but from what I've seen from the Epsteins and the, you name it, the Cuomos, all the people that have had these issues, the problem is they use their power on the weak. And when I say that, meaning that they think that because they control the power, they can take your position and put you in a position up or position out. And so the problem there is too much power corrupts the mind. They think they're untouchable. They think they can get away with it. They'll just get a slap on the hand and they'll be okay. And that's a problem as well. Now, the last piece, it's involving all forms of, I'm going to say all forms of racism. It could be due to age. It could be ageism. It could be ethnicism, religion. It could be race. It could be whatever you want it to be, handicap. It could be many things, okay? But those type of diversity clashes are the ones that are the most heinous and the ones that usually ends up being lawsuits with the company things where they can't win because it's clear and present, and it's nothing you can do about that as far as the employer. Now, these issues are going to continue on. There is no rule of thumb, because the first thing that happens is when it takes place, any of these infractions, three things happen to the employer or your boss. It's either going to be a slap on the wrist, a training seminar, suspension with pay while they investigate, they get transferred to a different division or department out of harm's way, or last but not least, they get fired. Those situations are an employee/employer's nightmare, because you don't want any of that to happen in the workplace, but it does happen. Bullying also happens frequently, and it has happened. It doesn't just happen in the workplace. It happens in life. Social media bullying, from Twitters and Instagram. Person that bullies you when you were in school, when you went just simply putting your backpack in a locker and someone decides they want to bully you and call you names. Bullying is something that has been going on since the dawn of time. Someone feels superior over someone because they're stronger, they look better, they think they're smarter, they think that they are more wealthier. It goes on and on, but these are all issues, employer issues that you have. Now, some people take the opposite way of saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with any of it. I'm going to go ahead and be my own boss. Bravo to you, because that is really going out on a limb. And I applaud you for that, because you're deciding to do something that has nothing to do with corporate America, but it will to some extent, but you're doing it on your own, and you're making your own schedule. You're being your own boss. You're taking on your own responsibilities. You're hiring your own staff. You're doing it your way. If you decide to hire anyone, that is what they call the American dream, being your own boss, building your own business. And you hear that a lot from people coming from overseas wanting to work in the United States. They want to live the American dream. The American dream is, as they say back in the day, to have a great job, have a house, a car, a family, and live comfortably. Nowadays, the American dream is being your own boss, which is what I'm striving to do. So, with that being said, this is the installer guy, kicking it with news, signing off, telling you all that, hey, don't let technology run you. You rule the technology.